Hey there. I hope you're off to a good start on this Tuesday. I am meteorologist Ben Peine here in the Extol Media Studios in Uptown New Albany on what is just a very, very humid start to the day. Thanks for tuning in to our show here. Ben at 10 on Extol Weather on Facebook, Extol Media on YouTube. Thanks for liking or subscribing. If you subscribe, you might get those notifications that we're on. Maybe it's not Ben at 10, but maybe it's a severe weather event and we're tracking, long form, maybe for several hours. We'll be doing that from time to time. But thankfully, not expecting severe weather for today, but a few of those pop-up downpours are going to be possible. And you know how tropical that they can be. You can also watch on xtolmag.com/weather, and we'll take a look at some of the offerings there on our website too, as we've put together some things for our area on there, some weather resources. There it is, Ben Peine, Peine, for your Facebook contact for me, Ben Peine. So thanks for tuning in there as well. So this morning, we had a couple passing showers during the overnight and early morning. Right now, we've got a break for most of the area. Have been watching a few showers as we look down here toward Breckinridge County and Grayson County over Rough River. And there was a little tiny shower kind of fading away up around Bedford, Indiana. You can see that little guy right there that crossed over Mitchell and it's kind of fizzling out. Then we've got some sunshine for much of southern Indiana. Little cloud cover there moving through Harrison County and Crawford County. And then you can also see some showers, some downpours here starting to move into Du Bois County around Huntingburg and down towards Santa Claus. So if you have any plans to head to Holiday World, hopefully you'll be dodging that very soon. And as we look off to the southwest, there you can see a couple of these little light rain showers around Grayson and Breckinridge counties, around Litchfield, might hold together and head toward the Hardinsburg area in Breckinridge County. But overall, as we look outside right now, most areas are dry, and we just have that Florida-like tropical sky that continues across the area. So once again, it is rinse and repeat weather for today as we have super, super muggy conditions. Dew points well in the 70s. Again, same air basically as what Florida has. There is something a little interesting for Florida, by the way, that we'll take a look at. A little tropical development a little bit later when we dig into the weather models. And actually, we might be able to zoom in down there right now and check it out. Real quick check of Florida. There you can see a little area of low pressure. So this is a little what they call invest. The National Hurricane Center keeping an eye on it. This is around Titusville and Daytona Beach, and so providing some very heavy rainfall there over central Florida for today. Through midweek, it'll be heading into the northern Gulf and might eventually curl up into Louisiana and spread some heavy rain that direction. So not technically a tropical depression or anything like that at this point, but something that the National Hurricane Center is keeping an eye on. And so this is a look at the forecast weather models from the National Hurricane Center. And if you look closely, these are called spaghetti models. They're very thin lines and crossing right over north central Florida, over the northern Gulf, and then heading over into Louisiana. And if that had any impact on our area, say later on this week, it would be just adding more moisture, more tropical moisture to our area, but would not be a big deal for our area. So obviously just interesting to look at. There is the low right there. Put it back on here for you. Well, we don't do Florida weather very often, but if you got a vacation down here in central Florida this week, it looks like it could be on the wet side. So that low is just off of Titusville right there. You can kind of see where that came from, and there's some of the spaghetti models, the tropical models, taking that right up through New Orleans. It might have some, there is the National Hurricane Center, which is nhc.noaa.gov, does show the potential of some tropical development. It might become a depression, or if it intensified pretty rapidly over the warm waters of the Gulf, maybe a brief tropical storm. So that's kind of something to watch as it crosses over Florida and then heads over the open waters of the northern Gulf here over the next couple of days. But again, no direct impact for our area anytime soon. All right, we'll back out of that. We'll check out who is chiming in the comments this morning. Thanks for being brave and saying hello in the comments, and maybe saying what town you're from as well. Christopher Ramos in the house. Yo, humidity and sweat bees. That time of the year. Simon, hope you're doing well. Like I said, need to check out WeatherWise. I know exactly what WeatherWise is. It's a pretty easy to use program, and it is very cool. I like it. Beverly Hagist tuning in from Borden, Indiana. Dennis Gregory, good morning from Bedford. And WeatherWise also, as Simon put in there, is free and easy to use. You can be your own meteorologist very easily with that, with radar. The weather models, it's more of a radar product than like looking at weather models at this point. Perry Porter, good morning. Trying to be the first one to pop in. Hey, well, you're like top 5. That's not bad. And Christopher says the Gulf waters are warm. Good for tropical stuff. Yeah, we'll see how that develops over the next couple of days. Give us something to talk about with our rinse and repeat weather pattern with the daily pop-up shower or thunderstorm chance that we have. And we got Celeste Garrett. Good morning from Elizabethtown, Kentucky. It is a mostly good morning. I'm still, nursing a bad lower back at this time on some anti-inflammatories for that, trying to do the stretches. Yesterday, I got a little overconfident, and I was like climbing up a ladder into the attic, messing around the HVAC. And we're going through this little period where I got some car issues. Our thermostat is out in our house. We've got a bad back. There's just a lot of stuff going on. What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? We all got something. Linda Lawrence, New Wash, thanks for watching up there in Eastern Clark County. Vicki Berger from Salem, Indiana. We got a good morning here from Don Bowling. Thank you all for tuning in here this morning. All right, so that is what we're looking at. We're looking at some tropical weather there in Florida, and then we're also looking at a little bit of, it's tropical here too, but we've got this, I don't know if you look closely, there's just a slight broad rotation to this disturbance that's moving into southwestern Indiana. And it's just enough of a little disturbance, little area of low pressure, kind of riding along a front that it's going to help kick up a few of these showers and thunderstorms for today. So we'll get that with the weather model data here in just a second. That's the radar and satellite. And I want to give some shout outs here and some announcements to our partners. Our big one here, ivytech.edu, the Sellersburg campus. So today is Tuesday. That's Tuesdays at the Tech, where you can register for one-on-one help with classes and tuition and aid. And you learn about all their programs there. 42 different programs. You can see them all listed here as I scroll through them live. Software development, network infrastructure, cybersecurity. How important are all of those in this AI age that we're in? And as the world gets crazier and crazier, hey, you got psychology and all different kinds of stuff that you can study right there. So it's the summer session now, and the fall sessions begin August 25th. And of course, through the next months, we're going to learn more from the folks there right out of the Sellersburg campus at Ivy Tech. So check them out, ivytech.edu, and just click on the Sellersburg locations. 2-year certification programs can get you educated to get more opportunities like we see here. This is at libspaving.com. They're the largest asphalt contractor around. They do concrete as well, huge jobs across the area, and they can use your help. There's all the different job openings right here at libspaving.com. That is L-I-B, B as in Ben, S paving.com. Also, a shout out to my buddy Michael Long, an insurance agent, longtime insurance agent with American Family Insurance. And you can get in contact with him if you want a quote, if you want someone that obviously really has your back. Emails, phone calls right away, getting back to you, help with the adjuster, help with whatever it might be, insurance-wise, car, home, many other things you might want to insure all throughout the state of Indiana. Can do products in Kentucky as well. 812-578-3072. You can go to amfam.com. You can see his name right there and just search Michael Long. It's going to take you to this page. And there you guys can get hooked up. You can email him or, again, call 812-578-3072. And he helped my mom out with her roof. I've talked about this before, but with Lions Roofing, DJ Zip, buddy of mine, works here at Lions Roofing as a sales rep, and got to know a bunch of the folks over there. Family owned, great business out of Memphis, Indiana, protecting your most valuable asset for a lifetime. So you get free estimates right there. 812-294-3595 is the number to call for Lions Roofing. You may see their icon, the lion, up in my 7-day forecast that I post each day, and some other spots as well. So, and also, if you head to extolmag.com/weather, you're going to find the interactive radar, the current conditions out there, 79 degrees, a light breeze from the south. And you just do that with your mouse, and you can scroll and look at the live radar right there. It's got the 3-day forecast, the 7-day forecast that I post every day, and I posted the brand new weather story right here. We are, yes, stuck in a muggy pattern, but also timing out some more pop-up storms. And the change that I've posted here on extolmag.com/weather is, yeah, we're going to have a daily chance of an afternoon pop-up shower or thunderstorm. But the difference for tomorrow, we might have a disturbance moving through during the morning time. So tomorrow morning, you might need to either grab the umbrella or adjust any of your outdoor plans. So you can see all the maps that I've got posted there, the daily forecast, 7-day forecast. So check that out. And there, hey, there's Michael Long, agent with American Family, once again popping up. We're also looking live outside with the Falls of the Foundation.org camera, looking towards Ashland Park, railroad bridge there. It looks like some folks taking a little morning stroll there along the fossil beds and some of the washed up timber that you can see there. But plenty of sunshine to heat things up pretty quickly on this Tuesday, July the 15th. We're about to get to that forecast here for you. We've got Vicki tuning in here. You were right about no rain in Corden yesterday at 1 o'clock for my doctor's appointment. Good deal. Good deal. I mean, as far as rain, we've been pretty lucky at my house. We've been getting like a shower or two, it seems like, every day. And eventually, once this back heals up, going to have to do some yard work to catch up with that. All right, bring it back up. Let me remove that and add it back up. There we go. Just a reminder, too, we're just talking about our sponsors. If you want to join the team, you can contact me, Ben at extolmag.com, Jason at extolmag.com. If you know somebody, maybe a friend or family member that's starting up a business or has a long-term business or organization, we can be your Southern Indiana megaphone and help get the word out about it. We can chat about it right there. Ben at extolmag.com, Jason at extolmag.com. Into the forecast here today, 87 by noon, near 90 this afternoon. Now, if the thermometer says upper 80s, it's going to feel probably like the low mid 90s out there. It's not extreme heat, and you might get an occasional pop-up shower or thunderstorm, which might briefly cool your area down. So south wind at around 5 to 10, giving today's rain chance about a 40% chance. And I'm getting a text here live from my HVAC guy, so I need to take this one. All right, perfect. Looks like we're going to have a noon HVAC visit. All right, awesome. There we go. Things are going in the right direction here Tuesday morning. Let's get back to this guy right here. Proud of my son Brady, his second week in a row, lowest score at the Southern Indiana Junior Golf match yesterday at Wooded View. That's just north of Target there off Veterans Parkway. And then today he's got his first ever match play event at Wooded View as well. So after the HVAC, heading over to try to catch some holes there as he takes on his first match play tournament. So I think it's a 2-day tournament today. No, maybe today, tomorrow, Thursday. We'll see how far he gets. Either way, it's been fun for his first time ever getting into the game of golf and accelerating really quickly and already beating his dad. Lillian Lasley, good morning to you. Getting rain at my house. Yeah, I did see that rain there in Grayson County. We'll check that out again here in just a second. And it was a beautiful sunset yesterday. That's what is kind of the glorious thing about these summertime pop-up storms. When they kind of fade away and fall apart, they can leave behind this kind of debris cloud across the area. You get the sun to get underneath that, and you get that underglow, and it provided a nice one. That was out in my backyard yesterday. Denise Cross sharing this one to our Indiana Skies group on Facebook. Head over there, join our group. You can submit pictures or just look at pictures, but it is Indiana Skies. Just type that into your Facebook and you're going to see that pop right up. So check that out. And thanks for submitting those pictures there. And speaking of daylight, or the lack of it, as we're going to be losing more and more daylight, David Kroom, thanks for tuning in here. Also, check this picture out. So this is a Google AI. I put in one sentence, put a background for a Southern Indiana sunset, and check out what it did. How about that? Looks pretty real to me, but a cool background right there. So thank you, AI, for giving us a nice view right there. So we're losing daylight minute by minute, about a minute and a half per day. So that's and then that increases, accelerates. So in July, we lose 38 minutes of daylight in the month. August, we lose an hour and 5 minutes of daylight. In September, an hour and 11 minutes, and about the same in October. So that adds up to losing 2 hours of daylight within the next month and a half. And then we lose about 4 hours of daylight by the end of October. So it's just crazy how quickly these days get shorter and shorter. UV index is a 7 today. That is at a high level. I would say that's about right from the EPA. Anytime you can get some sun to peek through the clouds, it could give you that burn. Allergy forecast is low for today, tomorrow, and beyond for now. Forecast today for your July 15th, super muggy. Few pop-up storms, south wind at around 5 to 10, and that high temperature right around 89 degrees. And our sunset now at 9:05. And tonight it's going to be humid out there, and some foggy spots will be possible with a low of 74 degrees. And that forecast is looking just about the same for tomorrow as it has been. Daily chances of those pop-up showers and thunderstorms, highs in the upper 80s and lower 90s throughout the next 7 days. So there we go. The live look outside at the corner of Vincennes and Market here in uptown New Albany at the tropical sky that we have across southern Indiana and Kentucky as well. So let me bring this back up here for you, and we're about to dig into that weather model data as we come up to almost 10:20, as we do every morning on Ben at 10. Quick cheers with the big happy water here. And even though this is just a copy and paste forecast, every day, occasional shower or thunderstorm, muggy conditions, upper 80s, low 90s, we still have plenty to talk about. Because then we start to introduce some tropical weather a little bit. Folks have vacation. We can talk about Florida a little bit. And we actually have some activity here on the radar and satellite already this morning. So we don't have a ridge of high pressure that's building in strong enough to keep the rain chances away. And we've got a front that just continues to meander just north of us. So we stay just south of the front, keeps us really muggy, just kind of sultry and sizzling. But the front is also close enough with this setup that we have some occasional showers and thunderstorms. So the area of high pressure is not strong enough to keep a lid on these cumulus clouds that grow during the afternoon. So loading up the live radar here, we'll just do a quick tour of the radar and then we'll get to that weather model data. So most areas are dry. You can see we do have a decent downpour heading into the Jasper area here. That is just north of 64 around Huntingburg and just south of Jasper. Drying out now in Santa Claus if you're lucky enough to head out to Holiday World. And then off to the south, we had Lillian from Litchfield telling us that she had some showers. And there you can see some of the showers surrounding Litchfield and Grayson County. And then looking over Rough River and into southern Breckenridge County, down 79 just south of Hardinsburg. There you can see some showers there. But most areas are currently dry. Little tiny guy, if anybody's watching from Franklin County, Kentucky, just east of the capital here in Frankfort. There you can see a little, maybe like a couple mile wide shower there. But that's the active weather that we have currently. A little disturbance out in southwestern Indiana, and it's going to be close enough to, again, pop up some afternoon showers and thunderstorms. Marydale, good morning. Just getting in here from New Albany. So you're just tuning in as we do the live radar scan, and then we're going to now look at the future radar with the weather models. So let's bring that up. And if you're a longtime viewer, you probably know what we're going to start with. The HRRR, High Resolution Rapid Refresh Weather Model, the high resolution model. It's at 11 a.m. It's not doing a great job picking up on some of that activity off to the southwest of us right now, or west. Just a little, picking up just a little bit on it. But let's take this into the afternoon, shall we? So this is at around 2 o'clock. Can't rule out a shower here or there. Into the mid-late afternoon is, typically kind of like clockwork when we see a little better chance of some of these isolated showers and thunderstorms just kind of randomly placed through the area. So it's at 6 o'clock, shows maybe a little better chance if you're looking for a trend here over, I would say, maybe areas north of Scottsburg, maybe a little more concentration of some showers and thunderstorms there up around Columbus and Bloomington by late afternoon and into the early evening time. So some of us will miss it. Some of us will get it. That's why, we often call it hit or miss variety of showers and thunderstorms. Now I'm going to jump ahead to the 48-hour version of the high resolution rapid refresh weather model and take us into the late night hours. And it does look like there is a disturbance out to the west. So check that out towards Evansville. This is at 11 p.m. tonight. I'm going to head to the wee hours of the overnight and just kind of see what this does. So it is, again, a little disturbance kind of riding along this very weak stationary front, just enough to kick up some showers and thunderstorms possibly during the late overnight hours or tomorrow morning. So this is around 5 a.m., 6 a.m. I think this is a little overdone as we'll compare and contrast this to the NAM 3 kilometer, the counterpart, another high resolution weather model. But so this is at 7 o'clock tomorrow morning. This is kind of one of the things I wanted to show you because, yeah, it's rinse and repeat, same kind of thing every day, afternoon pop-up shower, thunderstorm. But when there's a little, bump in the road, a little change, I want to show you that. A little variation to the stagnant, sluggish summer weather pattern that we have. So it does look like this little change is introducing a chance of some morning downpours. So we actually might see a higher rain chance tomorrow morning than the afternoon. It might be kind of a flip-flop day. Sometimes when you get that active weather in the morning, it kind of churn up the atmosphere and settle things down for later in the day. We'll see if that actually happens, but this is a trend that I've seen on both, actually several weather models here. So this is at 7 a.m. tomorrow morning. Let's go ahead to like 8, 9 o'clock. You can see that batch of showers and thunderstorms moving through. Now, severe weather not expected with this, but any of these storms can be an inconvenience with torrential rainfall, some lightning and thunder, and some brief gusty winds. Right here, this is a snapshot at 9 a.m., and then I'm taking this to around 10 o'clock. If we go to tomorrow afternoon, notice, again, this is at 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock. We might have more of the activity in the morning time Wednesday than the afternoon. So, hey, that might free us up to mow the yard in the afternoon if the back gets feeling better. So I'm giving it like a 40% chance of rain. It might be actually higher than that in the morning, and then a drier afternoon for Wednesday. Now, again, let's compare and contrast with the NAM 3 kilometer. I'm going to put this to now. And it's picking up on just a little bit of activity that we have out there into this afternoon. I'm going to jump ahead to 3 o'clock. And it shows a scattering of some of these little pop-up downpours across our area. And this is here at 4 o'clock and 5 o'clock. Again, nothing severe with this, just pop-up tropical downpours, Florida-like atmosphere. And then here's 6 and 7 o'clock. So I would say, looking at this, the NAM 3 kilometers a little more bullish or aggressive with some of these pop-ups around our area this afternoon than the HRRR high resolution rapid refresh weather model. But it's on the flip side, I think the HRRR is a little more aggressive for tomorrow morning than the NAM. Let's progress with the NAM 3 kilometer. And I'm going to zip ahead to the late night hours. Let's go to around 3 o'clock in the morning, see if we see this little disturbance showing up. So it is showing up, but it's not as aggressive as the HRRR weather model. But this is at 6 o'clock tomorrow morning. So both weather models are showing this disturbance moving through our area. It's just that the HRRR was more aggressive in its display of these storms, where the NAM shows it kind of more widely scattered. Either way, showing the morning activity tomorrow for our July the 16th, as we insanely go through July at a rapid pace. Usually my favorite month of the year. Good morning, just an old rain at our house here in Litchfield, Kentucky. Jeanette Pierce, thanks for tuning in there. Yeah, Lillian saying the same thing there from Litchfield. So that there is 8 o'clock tomorrow morning, that snapshot that you see right there. We'll go to 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock. So a scattering of showers and downpours possible tomorrow morning. Going into the afternoon tomorrow here, this is at 3 o'clock. And then as we head into 4 o'clock, it doesn't show a whole lot. So again, more activity in the morning perhaps than the afternoon could be the trend for our Wednesday. All right, so that kind of sums up tomorrow. And this is the precipitable water that I like to show, just to kind of look at where the muggy air is. And you can see it over the eastern half of the United States. And it looks the same color as the Gulf and over Florida, because our dew points are about the same. In fact, we can bring up the current dew points. Let me bring up this scene really quickly. So the dew point is a measure of the water content in the air. Anything in the 70s, really tropical. So the red is dry air, dew points 20s, 30s, desert air out west. So Colorado west, desert air. Great Plains, you're starting to ramp up the tropical air. And as we look here and zoom in to the dew point map, I'm seeing a 75 dew point in northern Hardin County around Fort Knox, 73 in Louisville, low to mid 70s dew points, okay? We don't typically get much higher than that. But due to the corn and the soybean growing, you can sometimes around the farm fields get that dew point to like 80 because they have transpiration, evapotranspiration. You've got evaporation from the fields, from the rain that we get from time to time, and then the roots are sucking up the water from the ground, and then from the leaves of the corn, all that dense moisture, transpiration getting released into the atmosphere. So around some of those farm fields, it can be actually more humid than many areas in Florida. And I'm sure some farmers out there, or some of you living in the countryside, might be able to back me up on that. So as we look at the dew points here off to the south, so our Jupiter, Florida, 72 dew points. So yeah, we're just equally as humid as much of Florida. Looks like Lake Okeechobee might be a little more humid at 79 dew point. Orlando dew point, same dew point as there around Fort Knox. So who needs to go to Florida or the Gulf Coast for vacation when you can enjoy horrible humidity right in our backyard? The dew points are less once you get into northern Indiana. They've got a little break from that. It's feeling pretty good with lower 60s over Michigan. So that's your reprieve if you want to travel north to get those lower dew points. We are just going to be stuck in it, stuck in this steamy air mass for a long time. Now, as far as any severe weather goes, a lot of times we're going to have daily chances of showers and thunderstorms. If you're afraid of thunderstorms, just want to give you a little breather as far as that goes, because there is no risk of severe weather in our area. There is a risk of severe storms up around Nebraska and eastern South Dakota into Minnesota and northern Wisconsin. That's for today. It's kind of an unfortunate looking drawing with that day one risk. We'll move on. All right. No risk of severe weather for us tomorrow. Looks like a few stronger thunderstorms possible between Grand Rapids and Chicago, but no risk for our area. Day 3 shows no risk of severe. You don't see this very often, friends. There is no risk of severe weather over the entire continental United States. Maybe the first time we've seen this so far this year, as far as spring and summertime, that it was day 3. Pretty quiet conditions overall. Now, the Climate Prediction Center, we tried to see some hope last week of some cooler than normal temperatures. That solution is backed off. We're now stuck in what looks like a little bit above average temperatures here through the long range outlook, maybe even perhaps the rest of July. That Canadian air that we were hoping for just does not have the push, the strength to get the muggy air off to the south. That's the 6 to 10 day outlook. And as we go to the 8 to 14 day outlook, high confidence here that much of the nation will be experiencing above normal temperatures through next 2 weeks out, which just means the same kind of weather that we've had, and maybe it gets a little more hotter over the next week or two than what we've had as well. And again, let me bring up something else. The rad sat here, and I'm going to drop on, in case you're just tuning in, this is a look at the tropics, as there has been a little bit of development here. As we look off to the south, I'm going to go full screen. This is in east central Florida. There's what we call an invest, a little low pressure here, kind of Cape Canaveral area, just south of Daytona Beach. And it looks like that's going to be heading over central Florida today. The spaghetti plot, the weather models, all the different weather models are those little lines. If you look very closely, it shows it moving over the northern Gulf over the next couple of days, and then possibly shooting up through Louisiana with some heavy rainfall. So it looks like Louisiana might have to watch out for some flooding potential and some of that tropical moisture heading up the Mississippi River later this week. As far as that becoming a big, strong system, it's not likely. The National Hurricane Center does show the potential for some intensification as it moves over the open waters of the Gulf, but likely, maybe it becomes a depression, maybe a brief tropical storm if it can intensify quickly enough. But it looks like no, significant impact on our area. But if you have a vacation down that way, over the next few days, there could be some cloud impacts and some heavy rain impacts down that general direction. Something to keep in mind there. All right, so that is that. I'm not sure. We can go long range real quick and just check out the, do we see any relief potential whatsoever in the soupy air that we have across the area? So we'll go to the future radar and the model data. I'll just keep the precipitable water on. So I'm going to go to like the middle of next week because I see no change. So this would be the 23rd, which would be next Wednesday. And I need to bring on the GFS high resolution version of the GFS. And so 23rd, next Wednesday, what do we see here? No change whatsoever. Tropical air still in place over our region. Let's go, what, like next Friday? So 23rd, the 25th of July. It's it tried to do this last week. I'm not going to buy it this time, but a sliver of hope, perhaps. So this, it tricked us last week. These long range, the outer portion of the weather models. So this is the 25th, so 10 days out, looking towards not this Friday, next Friday. Big question mark if this will happen. If we can get that Canadian air to win out, perhaps the latter days of July. We'll see if that plays out, but that shows the potential of a little relief. But you fool me once, shame on me. Fool me twice, shame on you. Shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. Yeah, I got it backwards. That's a look at, hey, we'll see if it happens. We'll see if it happens. We'll just keep in the back of our mind, not this weekend, but the following weekend. But I said that last weekend. So these long-range weather models sometimes like to tease us a little bit. All right, coming up to 10:36 on your Tuesday, July the 15th, right smack dab in the middle of July, and there's another live look outside with our live cam out of the Extol Media Studios here at the corner of Vincent's and Market in Uptown New Albany. Didn't get a chance to take a look at the current conditions out there with extolmag.com/weather, so I'll bring that up, and then we'll look at the forecast once again if you're just tuning in with us. And here's another look outside as well with the Falls of the Ohio Foundation.org camera. And let me go back to our main page here at extolmag.com/weather. There you can see me, right above me, live. We want to break the universe and turn that on while I'm on live. But you can go to YouTube, please, by the way, and hit like or subscribe. You'll probably see our videos pop up more often. If you subscribe, you might get those notifications to let you know that we're on. Not a bad idea, especially when we get severe weather. I do the long form severe weather coverage for our area. So thank you for liking or subscribing. You see our 7-day forecast, the weather story that has been posted, and a lot of other weather tools for our area. I'm going to bring this up full screen. This is the interactive radar, and you can see that we do have some showers just out to the west of Louisville. You can see that around Jasper. If I turn, I'm not sure if it will have any storm tracks. They're probably not. Well, there's one. Just strong enough to pop up a storm track, moving north at around 9 miles per hour. So it has it moving into Petersburg, Indiana in about 10 minutes, 10, 20 minutes, something like that. That's for that storm or heavy downpour here in Du Bois County. And then you've got some more showers around Litchfield and around Rough River. There you can see that. There's actually another tool that we announced yesterday. There is going to be a tornado feature on here. So bookmark this page, this interactive radar. The storm track layer, which is right here, it's this cloud with lightning. If you click on that storm track layer, it'll give you the storm tracks, of course, where the storm is, how intense it is, where it's heading. But if there's a tornado warning, there's going to be a tornado tracking feature on there as well. You can see a live lightning strike just popped up here. So we could call it technically a thunderstorm now, not just a downpour there. Right near Winslow, Oakland City, Jasper getting in on some of that rainfall there in Du Bois County. But I came here to pop on the temperature. So we are in the lower 80s in most locations. So it looks like that forecast is on track. And Vicki trying to get a long-range answer out of me. How's it looking for the 27th? Our church is having a serve day in Washington County. They'll be outside in a lot of the jobs around across the area. Thank you to your church, by the way. You can feel free to mention your church name on here. But we could cross our fingers that we get that Canadian front to move through that we saw a little hint of because Friday's the 25th, so it'll be Sunday the 27th. Maybe we get into a drier weather pattern and a more comfortable pattern by that time. We're just going to have to wait and see. Definitely feel free to continue to ask me that question as we get closer. We'll continue to fine tune that forecast, of course. All right, let me go ahead and bring up a look at that forecast. So noon today, 87, near 90 this afternoon. It'll definitely feel like the low 90s, and about a 40% chance of a pop-up shower or thunderstorm, south wind at around 5 to 10 miles per hour. And just a shout out to my boy Brady. He's going to be playing in a match play tournament, his first ever today, maybe tomorrow if he continues to make it through. But he did get the lowest round at his match yesterday with the Southern Indiana Junior Golf little circuit they've got going on in Southern Indiana. So it's been fun to watch him, try a new sport. He finally got his first set of golf clubs for Christmas, and he's been rocking it out. Vicky Berger, Mount Tabor Christian Church, for their serve day on the 27th. We're going to try to make it some good weather for their good work across the area. There's that beautiful sunset we had last night in my backyard and in Denise Cross's backyard in Borden, Indiana. Please submit any of your photos, whether it's a cool cloud or whatever it is, wherever in Indiana. This is at Indiana Skies. It's a group. Just become part of it there on Facebook. Search Indiana Skies. And speaking of our skies and our daylight, we lose 38 minutes this month of daylight. In August, over an hour of daylight loss. September, an hour and 11 minutes. And October, an hour and 11 minutes as well. So we lose hours of daylight over the next couple of months. UV index is at a 7 for today. Low levels of pollen. Our high today, 89. Again, just super muggy with some pop-up storms. And 74 are low for tonight. Now, the difference for tomorrow's forecast is I think we'll have actually a better chance of some showers and thunderstorms in the morning than the afternoon. So it might be kind of a flip-flop day for our Wednesday, upper 80s, low 90s through the long-range outlook with an occasional pop-up shower or thunderstorm. So the weather pattern unchanging, again, through the long range here. Lily and Lasley popping in with a thanks. Thank you for tuning in here. Let me back out of this and remove that and add that. And thanks for watching, whether it's on here on extolmag.com/weather. Some thank yous to our sponsors, Lions Roofing, lionsroofingco.com. You can see the free estimates you can get there. You can call 812-294-3595. But also, if you hit the careers section, they are still looking for a roofing repair technician. So hop on their site, go to careers, and you can apply for that job opportunity right there. I want to tell you about more job opportunities here at libspaving.com. If you know somebody that needs the work, needs some cash, there you go. Lots of opportunities right there at libspaving.com. Shout out to my man Michael Long, longtime Southern Indiana insurance agent with American Family Insurance. He was my son's first travel ball coach when he was 7 years old. I mean, paid for the tournaments, for the uniforms, helps out many different schools in Southern Indiana, and can cover you when it comes to insurance and help you out in so many different ways there with American Family. Check them out, 812-578-3072 for your car, home, or many other options there as well. And you can see all of his 5-star reviews here. There are bundles, car, home, life, umbrella, renters, all that right there that you may want to check out. Again, that is Michael Long with American Family, 812-578-3072. Sellersburg, Ivy Tech campus here. Ivy Tech Community College has helped our family, my daughter, with 42 credits, I think, in high school going into IU. So it doesn't really matter if you're a high school student or you're middle-aged like me. If you want to level up, get some education, where are we going? There, with this AI that is, it just seems to be going crazy. You can go to the Sellersburg campus, and that is going to take you to all their 42 different programs offered. And so a lot of science and technology here, software development, network infrastructure, information technology support, information technology and informatics, cybersecurity, a lot of different things, especially in the technological world and AI. So they are ahead of it for you. And you can register now for their fall sessions. That is August 25th. Finding a very efficient way, I would say, easy to sign up, but also for the pocketbook as well. They're making it as easier than any community college that I know of. So check them out right there. Also, a little reminder of all of the weather resources that are available at your fingertips. Go ahead and bookmark extolmag.com/weather, extolmag.com/weather. It has your live stream. It has your interactive radar, your current conditions, your current forecast, your 3-day forecast, your 7-day forecast, the weather story that I've posted, the severe weather outlook, day 1, day 2, any watches, any reports, weather and traffic, river and lake levels, drought status, regional radar with any warnings or watches, and the big screen interactive radar there at the bottom. All right. I think that is going to pretty much wrap it up. I'll look for the last couple comments. There's our last look outside. Some high cirrus clouds out there mixed with some sunshine. It is a steamy start to our day. We've got Judy Tyndall here. Good morning. My head doesn't feel like it's low level. I've got the back pain. I've got a little ringing in the ear. I've got a car that's breaking down. Our thermostat is out in our house. That might be it for right now. So we are playing whack-a-mole on all these different things that we're trying to put out the fires, so to speak. Going through one of those deals. That's it. That's going to wrap up. This little booklet this is my forecast sheet that I do every day. All the science that we have behind making that forecast each and every morning for you. Lots of scribbling that I do every day. We've almost got this notebook filled completely out. But I just want you to know I do put in the work every morning before sunrise as we get going to get that most accurate forecast here for you. All right. Probably let Judy be the last comment. Thank you so much for watching Ben at 10 on this Tuesday, July the 15th. We'll see you tomorrow morning, same time, same place. Thanks for liking and subscribing. And you guys have a great day today. Thanks for watching the replay as well. Hello to you if it's in the afternoon or in the evening time. Again, we'll see you later.